Hello viewers, you are watching Afghanistan Report and I'm your host Swati Kundra. The main stories are: Afghan Taliban splinter faction condemns new chief, picks rival leader. MSF staff demonstrates 1 month after US bombing of Kunduz hospital. Indian journalist captures positive images of war-torn Afghanistan. A splinter faction of the Afghan Taliban has challenged the militant group's new chief and selected its own leader, reigniting doubts that peace talks could restart. We have a report.
The Taliban, battling to oust foreign forces and the US-backed government from Afghanistan, were thrown into turmoil in July when the death of their long-term leader Mullah Muhammad Omar was announced. Omar's deputy Mullah Akhtar Muhammad Mansoor took charge, but there was grumbling in the ranks, and some analysts have attributed big Taliban attacks in recent months to a bid by Mansoor to establish his reputation as leader and stamp his authority over the group. In a video obtained by Afghan TV networks, the rival faction of the militant group defended their reasons for diverting.
د امارات د یرغمل کولو والا اوسه موږ مقابله کوو هغه رابولو دا ورته ووایه هغه خبروو چې موږ قوت لرو نظام لرو ملک لرو مجاهدین لرو سپین ږیري لرو هغه به تاسو ته وایي چې دا کار تاسې د اجتماع د دې ټولنې خلاف کړی دی اوس هم منصور صاحب ته د دغه ځای څخه دا دعوت ورکوو موږ دی پیژنو دی موږ پیژني څرنګه چې د محترم ملا اختر محمد منصور صاحب پر زعامت باندې د اسلامي امارت د مجاهدینو ترمنځ یو عمیق اختلاف رامنځته سو او په ټول د زمانې کې د امارت د لوړ رتبه مجاهدینو د امارت په طریقې کار باندې ملاحظات درلودل د دې په نتیجه کې د امارت د زعیم د منلو سره انکار وکړ حضرات علما او کرامو د دې اختلافاتو د ختمولو او د مجاهدینو ترمنځ د اتحاد او اتفاق د راوستلو په باب ډېرې هلې ځلې وکړي.
A commander within the dissident faction said they had chosen Mullah Muhammad Rasul Akhund as their leader and they would not fight Mansoor but would keep their focus on old enemies.
په هیواد کې د مجاهدینو د بیلابیلو ډلو ترمنځ جنگ بند شي هیڅ یو فریق پر بل فریق باندې حمله ونه کړي او نه هم کوم چاته د باغي نسبت وکړي. د علما کرامو د هان اوڅو اصلي هدف د مجاهدینو ترمنځ اتحاد او اتفاق او ټول مجاهدین پر یو ځای باندې راټولول دي.
Akhund, 50, is a former Taliban governor of 2 provinces but not a religious scholar. Many of the commanders supporting him are angry that Mansoor concealed Omar's death for 2 years and continued issuing statements in his name. Mansoor said the deception was necessary to preserve the unity of the insurgency.
300 people, mostly staff from Medicine Sans Frontiers, but also from other NGOs and health facilities, gathered in the center of Geneva to pay tribute to the victims of the US bombing of MSF's charity-run hospital in Kunduz, Afghanistan last month. A report.
Urging that even war has rules and calling for an independent investigation, the staff members of MSF remembers those killed in the airstrikes. They observed a minute of silence before asking for the violence against medical and health facilities in conflict zones to stop. The hospital was hit by a US airstrike while Afghan government forces battled to regain control of Kunduz from Taliban insurgents who had seized the city.
We need to remember that. We need to tell the world that it's completely abnormal. We need to not normalize such an event. If we allow this to be a non-event, and then it's giving a blank check to all the countries at war in the world, to just say, do whatever you want, and you know what? We don't think that hospital is a protected space anymore. This is not what we want. The message today is we do believe that the last patch of humanity that there is in the chaos of war is basically a hospital.
The United States says the hospital was hit by mistake but has accepted responsibility and has launched a wider investigation headed by a US general and 2 brigadier generals, which is expected later. MSF, which has called for an independent international investigation, said 13 MSF staff members and 10 patients were confirmed dead in the attack, one of the worst of its kind in the 14-year-long conflict in Afghanistan. Under international humanitarian law, hospitals as well as schools and places of worship are supposed to be protected.
This is more than enough. Today, bombing of health facilities, bombing of ambulance, bombing of patients, bombing of healthcare workers must stop. This is not negotiable.
Kunduz Hospital, which had 3 operating theatres and treated more than 22,000 patients in 2014, is now closed. The process for the creation of an independent humanitarian commission to investigate the attack has been initiated by Switzerland, but it now needs the agreements of the US and Afghan governments to go ahead.
Moving on, a video has gone viral in which a woman was being stoned to death by the Taliban in Firozkoh city in Ghor province on October 25. Published by US-backed broadcaster Radio Free Europe or Radio Liberty, the video had been provided to its Radio Free Afghanistan station. The Afghan government had blamed the rebels for the killing of the woman. Identified as Roxana, it said she had run away with her fiancé to be married, but the militants had accused her of having premarital sex. Chinese Vice President Li Yuanchao on his recent visit to Kabul held meeting with Afghan President Ashraf Ghani and signed agreements on security, reconstruction and education cooperation. We have a detailed report.
China's Vice President pledged infrastructure and security support for Afghanistan and signed 3 deals during a rare visit to Kabul for a senior Chinese official. China says it does not seek to fill a void left by the drawdown of Western troops in Afghanistan, but has promised to play a huge commercial role in helping rebuild the country, where the Taliban seek to re-establish their Islamist regime that was toppled by the 2001 US-led military intervention. Chinese Vice President Li Yuanchao told Afghan President Ashraf Ghani that Beijing would provide $79 million this year to help build low-income housing.
中国是阿富汗的好伙伴，中国人民是阿富汗的好朋友。今天刚才我们签的这些协议，体现了中国和阿富汗的友好和情谊。
Ghani said the funds will help build 10,000 resident apartments in Kabul and that China also pledged to provide special security devices to scan vehicles in the capital.
د افغانستان د ولس په نمایندګي تاسو ته ښه راغلاست وایم او تاسو سفر یوه ډېره مهم قدم او سمبول د افغانستان او چین د همکاري ګڼم.
China has become increasingly concerned about what it calls extremists and separatists in its western region of Xinjiang, where violence has killed hundreds in recent years and sees security in Afghanistan as key to stability at home. Rights groups say China has never presented convincing evidence of the existence of a cohesive militant group, and that unrest in Xinjiang can be traced back to frustration of the Muslim Uyghur people who call the region home at Beijing's controls on their culture and religion, charges Beijing denies.
An Indian journalist uncovers the positive life of war-torn Afghanistan at a photo exhibition titled Behind the Veil, the Other Afghanistan in New Delhi. Let's take a look.
Afghanistan is in news for the ongoing war and terrorism. However, there are some positive events happening that the world is unaware of. Naziz Afroz, an Indian journalist who has covered Afghanistan for over a decade, has captured those positive images through his lens. His works are on display at an exhibition titled Behind the Veil, the Other Afghanistan in capital New Delhi. Images of a family enjoying picnic, children playing and having ice creams and many others are very captivating. What sets these images apart is the normal life of Afghans in spite of the daily bombings and sense of insecurity.
The city of Kabul totally devastated. There were neighborhoods where not a single roof was there in the entire neighborhood. the entire neighborhood was destroyed. It was not because of the war, American war on Afghanistan, but it was before that, the Civil War period between 92 and 96. And so I saw that the entire transformation, and I've been taking photographs.
Visitors at the exhibition are effusive in their praises of the works of Afroz.
All that we get to hear and know about Afghanistan is the war, that we hear about it regularly. So we get to see that there is a country continuously being broken and rebroken by wars and other such things. We hardly get to know the real life, what's there behind these wars. So when I heard about the name itself, made me feel that that's exactly what will give me what I'll get to know from this exhibition.
Earlier this year, Afroz held his first photography exhibition from Kabul to Kolkata with his colleague in BBC, Moska Najib, in 4 cities across South Asia.
With that, we have come to the end of this week's episode of Afghanistan Report. I'm Swati Kundra taking your leave. We will be back next week with more news and views from Afghanistan. Goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.